Hello, my friends. My name is John Guns. I am the Dean of Sandwich Proctor School of Theology at Virginia University. I'm excited because we have announced our scholar practitioners, and it was a very thoughtful, discerning process. It wasn't something done haphazardly. We took real time to wrestle with Dr. Flowers and Dr. Howard and myself as to who would be the scholar practitioners. And leading us in one of our significant areas are two men who will partner together to do this. They're both very significant figures in the kingdom, and they have for years provided substantive, redemptive leadership and been some of the most important preaching voices. So I am excited to welcome Dr. Rudolph Waldo McKissick Jr. I rarely call him by his middle name. So, Dr. McKissick, who are you and what concentration are you leading?
Dean John Eric Guns. I am.
Can you tell that we're friends of a lot of years? The pettiness is like amazing. Okay.
I am a 1990 graduate,
Yes,
MDiv, here at Virginia Union. Then the School of Theology at Virginia Union.
That's
and pastored in the city in Churchill, Good Shepherd Baptist Church, succeeded my late father-in-law, Dr. Paul Nichols, who was our Christian education and former dean of the school.
Yeah, he taught us.
Virginia Union runs in my blood deep. Mm-hmm. So I'm honored to be a part of what you're doing here now in these great hollowed walls.
Yeah. So your focus is justice.
Yeah, it's the Jeremiah Wright faith, social justice, and public policy concentration.
How important is it to you and Dr. Freddie Haynes that you're leading the Jeremiah Wright?
Yeah, for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
The closeness that both Dr. Haynes and I have to Dr. Wright for 10 plus years, I did revival at Trinity.
Yeah.
Under Dr. Wright.
You pretty much done revival everywhere, but go ahead. Yeah. We'll keep it moving.
So, very close to Dr. Wright. He was single-handedly responsible for the awakening of my consciousness to liberation and social justice when I was a student here. And he and Dr. Kinney were running revival for my dad. And first sermon I heard him preach was "Everybody your color ain't your kind," and it ignited something in me to the necessity of social justice. So to be leading a cohort with Dr. Haynes named after Jeremiah Wright, to me is just something I treasure.
Long-standing relationship, you and I. From a personal perspective, what does this mean that the invitation came from your brother?
Yeah.
Who, by the way, would probably not be sitting in this seat if you had not pricked me with that eventful phone call on that Sunday night in January.
Yeah.
As we look now over our 30 plus years, what does this moment in your journey mean to you?
It's full circle because I remember the days where you and I were the young preacher and a Miles Jones and a Paul Nichols or a A.B. James or Ralph Reeves would be sitting here and we would be sitting somewhere soaking that in.
Absolutely.
And now we have become that which we looked up to, or at least we're attempting to be.
Yeah.
And to now pour back into and to pay it forward is really significant, to sit where they sat and to remember what they did for us, and now to have it be obligatory for us to do it for others.
It's interesting. You said something earlier about your daughter, my niece, considering.
Yeah.
And now your niece and my daughter is a student,
right,
preparing to graduate in the spring.
Right.
We're now seeing generations.
Yeah.
Follow us.
Yes.
Yes. How do you believe, and you are generational because you followed
Right.
your father
Right.
with great dignity
Right.
and great intentionality and integrity. How do you understand this moment in time from your unique perspective after almost 40 years now of preaching,
Yeah, 40 years.
over 30 years of pastoring? Clearly,
Right. Right.
how do you understand this moment in time theologically and experientially?
I think we are at a critical moment in the life of the church because so much of the church now is about kingdom competition and entertainment to the extent that now clickbait theology has become the order of the day, where everybody learns to drop phrases that help them go viral, as opposed to taking up the challenge and the responsibility of forming people's theology to help them see more of a God who's always been there. We just weren't open to seeing revelation. I think it's critical what you're doing at the seminary and these concentrations, I think, are calling us back to recenter ourselves on the eternal, in a place and time where now competition, entertainment, and people salivate at the salacious when it comes to preaching, when it comes to ministry. And this is a recentering to bring us back to what it's really all about.
So you just gonna act like I ain't the dean and you smarter than me? That's fine.
That's not
I'm
true.
I'm secure. I'm secure.
That's not true.
No, that was amazing. You're writing more now.
I am.
So you just released a book,
I did.
and there's a book that's coming.
Yeah. Well, I can share it here. Can I
Yeah.
share
No,
it
no,
here?
no. That's why I raised it.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me to do the forward.
absolutely.
But I want to speak more to the second book,
Okay.
because I think the second book, I'm getting the first book, but the second book, because I read some of the excerpts.
Right.
That came out of a presentation that you were doing
At Virginia Union.
at Virginia Union.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
and the presentation was amazing.
Thank you.
And I actually said to you,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah, you did. You
pushed
pushed me.
You got to write this.
You pushed me on
Because if
this.
you don't write this,
Yeah.
you're cheating us.
Yeah.
Why are you writing more?
Because I think I have finally settled on the reality that God has assigned me to be a pourer and not just a pastor. That God has put some stuff in me.
That's good.
And I think my look at homiletics
yeah.
deserves a voice. It's a book entitled When the Word Walks, the Performative Nature of Preaching.
Now, stop right there, because you were one of the first that I remember that really talked about this whole idea of preaching as performance.
Right.
But not in a way that it would justify the entertainment
Correct.
pursuit.
Correct.
But as a very sound homiletical and theological
Yes.
embrace
Yes.
of what preaching, particularly black preaching, does better than anybody. Just kind of
Yeah.
digging that for you.
So, it came about because, I was an opera major.
Yeah.
My undergrad degree is in opera. So performing vocally has always been my thing.
That's big.
And I'm a firm believer that the black preacher has always been a performer, because we know how to engage our voice with inflection, dynamics, enunciation, tempo in such a way that it engages the audience in a different way. I have always read people preaching about homiletics, the science of it, how to put a sermon together. But in the words of our homiletics professor, Dr. Miles Jones, if you don't know how to lift it off the page, then all you have is a term paper. So I decided not to try to write a book on the homiletic process, but I decided to write a book on how you use your voice in such a way that the message becomes performatively engaging. Learning how to use your voice with volume, with softness, with slowing down, using your hands, all of that. You are a performer without becoming performance driven in the sense of entertainment. So the whole book, chapter by chapter, just I take some songs and break them down on how the songwriter wrote them with dynamics in them. Sing this part soft, sing this part loud, slow this down. Then I parallel some scriptures and I take a sermonic excerpt and I go through and do the same thing. Imagine slowing this down here. Imagine saying this faster and talking about how you engage the audience in a way that they are not just transformed by the words you write, but they are transformed by the conviction that you speak and how you use your voice to do that.
So that's like really like brilliant, right?
Oh,
Yeah, whatever. You
No.
you need to know if you don't.
No.
Just kind of a final thought. We're talking exits now.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Our generation, our circle,
Yeah.
is talking exits.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you that we've spent all of these years
Yeah.
doing this?
Yeah.
We've preached in some of the most significant
Mm-hmm.
on some of the most significant stages. You have your voice is widely respected. When people talk about some of the greatest preachers of our generation, your name is frequently employed or listed. What do you say to this generation that's following us? What do you say to those young men and women who will commit to your cohort as the others have done? What will Rudolph McKissick say, and how will we remember you?
Wow. I want to leave an imprint and make an impact.
Yeah, I'm glad you're writing now.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah, and I'm actually writing my third book now.
I love it.
On succession.
I love it.
I want to be remembered as more than just a preacher, and I think that's why I've started to write.
Very good.
Because my real passion is not preaching.
Mm-hmm.
My real passion, I think, is in the academy.
Yeah.
And so I want to be remembered as more than just a preacher. I want to be remembered as someone who tried to challenge minds, help people find their authentic self, and helped to form theological thought. And not just people can remember what sermon I preached at Hampton,
Right.
but remember what lecture I may have given in a classroom when they were there. I think, the way we fondly talk about Miles Jones,
Yeah.
Paul Nichols,
Yeah.
A.B. James, Sam Roberts, and I could go on and on. The way we fondly remember what they poured into us.
Yeah.
I want to be remembered like that.
And you will be. And
So will you.
You will be. You will definitely be that. I want to conclude with my own thought. Sitting in this seat as dean, and again, you have been a part of this whole 4-year plus journey, really longer than that, because I probably wouldn't be sitting here without the prophetic courage of Bishop Dr. McKissick. But as I think about the launching of these new concentrations, it took me 4 years as dean for us to walk to this place. Mm-hmm. I started envisioning this. Dr. Flowers and I initially would be talking about the D-Min program. That when I walked in here, we was almost at 100 students, and then we went through a kind of interesting season. Now we're trending back up. But I think these concentrations are a reflection of the emergence of our understanding that the black church is not the same.
Yes.
That
Yes.
African American Pentecostalism is important. That this conversation about public policy
Yes.
and marketplace and,
Yes.
and recognizing intergenerational ministries, not just doing youth and young adult ministries, but understanding all of these different nuances.
Right.
You know, community health and sustainability and dealing with liturgy in a way that it impacts how people engage God. And so now, as I look at where God has the Virginia Union, or the School of Theology particularly, I'm excited that you decided to come home.
Yeah.
I'm excited that so many of our scholar practitioners, the ones that you have listened to, have all decided to come home.
Yeah.
We all decided to come home because home was where we found ourselves.
Absolutely.
Home was where we were forced to think bigger about God and sometimes think smaller about ourselves. Home was where we were angry that God stretched us, but grateful that God didn't forget about us.
Yeah.
Home was where we were no longer afraid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the stages were never bigger
right.
because we came from a place that was
Right.
big.
Right. Right.
And we were nurtured by big people.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
That's right. You're absolutely
So, final word.
I want you to know, as a brother, but as a Unionite alum, how proud I am of what you're doing at the school. When God put that in my spirit, it was not because we're boys.
Yeah.
It was because, one, I knew you had the acumen to make it happen. And two, we were cut from the same theological cloth of union.
Absolutely.
And I knew you would bring the spirit back of what union really is all about. And man, I'm so godly proud of all you're doing. When we were in school, it was like union was preparing us to pastor.
Yes.
Now you have union at a place where it's preparing people for ministry. And there's a significant difference. And I think these concentrations are evidence that we understand everybody's authentic ministry is not necessarily behind a sacred desk. And you're to be thanked for that.
Well, I appreciate it, and I love you, man, for life. So you need to register. You need to go and register for the school. If you got started the religious studies program, start there. MDiv, Master of Divinity, MACE, Master of Arts and Christian Education, the Doctor of Ministry degree program. There is none like Union. I don't even pretend. And I am anally territorial, so I do act petty about it. I don't pretend. I don't pretend. Forget you if you don't understand that this is the best place to come. But as you see, that all of the voices that you've heard throughout these segments have all figured out that it was at Virginia Union. So, on the screen, lower level, you will see opportunity for how to register. We begin again in October because we are driven by terms. So you are welcome to start registering. If you want to do the D-Min, go ahead and register. If you want to do any of these concentrations, let us know which concentration you're interested in, and we will, in time, direct you to that person who will, honestly, you cannot go wrong with any of our concentrations because everybody is LeBron James. Everybody is at the top of their game, and they will make sure that you will be at the top of yours. So I'm John Guns. I'm the Dean of St. Louis Practical Theology. And I expect to be your dean one day. So why not jump in the water? Because nobody drowns that goes to Union. Because we got the best folk who can mentor you on how to swim. We got you. I promise you we do. Be blessed, and we'll see